A new World Touring Car Championship season is upon us. Much may have changed, but the ambitions of the drivers and the teams remain as tightly focused as ever.
Citroen's not here anymore.
I think there's too many unknowns this year.
Competition was not sleeping.
All race drivers you talk to will say that they have a chance.
Only one thing, only one goal, to win the championship.
I want to win a world championship, simple as that.
I can be the champion.
Why not me?
I could be champion. Championship.
The next target is to win the championship.
You can't underestimate any of them.
Last year finished on a slightly sour note for Honda teammates Norbert Michelis and Tiago Monteiro. When Ivan Muller allowed Monteiro to pass him in Qatar, the Portuguese ended up clinching third place in the championship at the expense of his teammate.
Fighting for P3 in the championship, and yeah, I got a bit upset at the end because from my point of view, yeah, to have some interference from the outside is not always good, but in the end it's motorsport, so it does not change the world dramatically. I would have loved to finish third in the championship, but I have to say that we have to prove this season that we can be there, we can fight for the championship, and I prefer to finish fourth last year and to win the championship this season than to have it the other way around.
With the Citroen factory team absent, Honda, with Japanese driver Ryo Michigami replacing Rob Huff, has a great opportunity to finally grab both titles.
A lot of testing. I think we will have enough mileage to have all the information we need from the car. And this is why I say we can be confident for the season, because the updates are working quite good.
We've done a lot of work, especially on our speed on the straights, to try and catch our rivals. I think it's going to pay off.
特に今ストレートスピードがもう少し必要だっていうことはホンダとしては言ってるみたいな。
We can be the reference in Morocco because last year we did 1, 2, 3 in qualifying, and we won the main race. So I have to say that for this season, with the improvements we have on the car, I expect us to be strong.
We have very strong key points, characteristics of the car. We have to exploit them where it matters, and those tracks to really try and make a big difference. The street tracks, where we've proven that we are always quite consistent and strong and always at the front. Macau, definitely, yeah. Villarreal, Marrakesh, yes. So those tracks are key for us. We don't have a dominating car. We didn't have it. It's no secret we're not going to have it again this year. But we have a strong car, and it's very strong in some areas, so we need to exploit that.
Of course, on circuits like Monza, we can struggle a bit, but in the end, the overall package improves.
The other key point will be trying not to lose too many points at tracks where we won't be the fastest, because it will happen. I think actually Monza will definitely be for pretty much the worst track for us. And so this is a kind of track where we try to minimize the losses, and this is the key. To really be strong where we can be and be as good as possible where we know we cannot fight for the win, really.
Since my first race win, 2010, I said that the next target is to win the championship, and I think that 17 we have a really good chance to achieve that.
It's going to be pretty open this year, more than ever. I don't think I'm going to have an easy time, and I think that every point will be important until the end. Every point, every race, I think every detail will matter more than ever.
Rob has the strongest package. I expect him to be strong at every race circuit. I expect us to be strong as well, but like I told you, there will be some circuits where we will struggle a bit.
Every time I spoke to previous winners, one of the common things they say, of course, being the best team, being the best car, no doubt about it, but a lot of luck. Because, you know, sometimes you touch the bang wheels a little bit, something breaks, or it doesn't. And this will make a difference at the end.
Volvo was new to the championship last year, but they've grown quickly, and they certainly have lofty ambitions.
The goal has been raised a lot, as you know, as you've seen before, maybe in the press releases. We want to win. The team wants to win, I want to win. It was such a great feeling winning in Shanghai and even ending in Qatar in the second place, but you know, the win just gives you so much energy and motivation. So a lot more wins this year is what I'm looking forward to. And then, you know, in the end, I want, of course, be the one on top. But as we have a strong team, you know, we want to make sure one of us is on top.
A great addition to the Volvo team is former Lada driver Nicky Katzberg.
I must say the Volvo has really impressed me. When I did my first test, I was really surprised in a nice way. Car has some very strong assets, and yeah, I'm looking forward to put them to use this year. We want to win both championships. We already saw last year with that winning in Shanghai, getting some good results later on in the season, that it was heading into the right direction, and I think over the winter we've made more steps in the same direction, upwards, and I hope we can prove it now.
Another addition to the team is Argentine ace Nestor Girolami, who's already had a few World Touring Car races tucked under his belt.
I was training hard. I was preparing this season a lot of in the simulator, workout, a lot of tests. So we are ready to fight for the championship.
What we learned last year, we tried to, you know, put in the car for this year, because last year was gathering information from all the different tracks. And we noticed that it takes a lot of, you know, different approaches to the different tracks.
Very, very funny to have Ted and Nicky as well. They are very professional driver, very fast driver, and for me it's very important because it's my first full season and they know very well the tracks, they know very well the car, and I have to learn and to try to learn of them.
He's a nice guy. He's an Argentinian hotshot, I call him. He's young and he's super fast, and yeah, he's so motivated, and it's nice to have him in the team.
I think the strength now for us is that we are 3 instead of 2, so now we just upped our game against them, and hopefully the team with all the new experience can match them. You know, it's a hard competition, and I think it will be a fight till the last race.
When you have a very good driver as teammate, the level for the team is growing up, and this is very important because they push very hard to me, but it's a good competition into the team. This is the spirit of the team.
To be honest, I hope he's as good as a Pechito, because that would mean he would win a lot of races for us, and that I can learn from him. I always hope for the best teammates possible, because that will only make me fast eventually. Obviously, I want to win some races as well, not only my teammates, but you can only learn from fast guys.
Volvo's X-Factor just might be newly retired Ivar Muller. He's arrived as a consultant and development driver.
We have an open atmosphere, and he is the development driver. And then I think just having him around will let us, you know, take some knowledge of what he has done before. So I think it's a cool atmosphere, and I feel really at home with all the people in the team.
Mehdi Banani is the reigning independent champion. He lost his beloved father over the winter, and there were question marks over his involvement in this year's World Touring Car Championship.
The baddest things can happen for me. So I was thinking that the best solution for me was to stop and to start a new thing with a normal life. My father was a 3 times champion, Moroccan champion in bike and racing car. So I think the last hope he has is to see me in this world of motorsport, in this WTCC. But like we said, alhamdulillah, the life continues and I need to keep what I'm doing. So we will see.
Last year, Mehdi and his teammate Tom Chilton had a huge fight for the Independent Trophy. But this year, with their Citroens, it's not just the Independents. They're aiming higher still.
It was close. It was exceptionally close between myself and Mehdi Banani, my teammate. I do see him as one of my biggest rivals this year, for sure.
We are friends outside of the track. It means that every time when we are on the track, we are fighting a lot, even with some crashes. I think the first competitors you have in the grid of WTCC, it's your teammates.
I do think he's an extremely good driver. I've worked with a lot of drivers in my time, and he's progressed a lot in the championship. When I first joined the championship 6 years ago, he made an awful lot of mistakes, but he really has grown, and I see him as one of my biggest rivals actually this year.
Young Frenchman John Philippi will be the third driver of a Sebastian Loeb Racing Citroën.
Car of the grid. Sure, I don't have the experience like my teammate or another driver, but I'm younger and I want to do results, so I must to work, to go and to fight for good results.
Leaving Honda's factory team, Rob Huff will also drive a Citroën, and that's run by a private team as well.
Obviously, since winning the World Championship in 2012, up until last year, I didn't really have a car that I could potentially win in. And even last year, I think, was unrealistic that a Honda would win the championship. So yeah, finally got my hands on one of these pesky little Citroëns. It's great. It's a great opportunity that was presented to me by René, and you know, for me, it was one that I definitely couldn't pass on. You know, I loved working with them in 2013. I've worked with them since then in other forms of motorsport, and to be able to go back there in WTCC for me, especially with a Citroën, is a dream come true. You know, the first time I drove the car, it was very apparent to me straight away, just literally on the outlap, you know, why they've won 3 World Championships. You know, the car is just complete. It is by far the most complete race car I've ever driven. You know, easy would be totally the wrong word, but compared to the other cars that I've driven, which is a lot in WTCC, it just works. The development they've done on the car, they've literally left no stone unturned, you know, and every WTCC car I've ever driven from day one has always had its little ticks, should we say. And this one doesn't, or not that I've found yet. You know, it just works in every single way. It does things that, you know, other cars simply can't do.
Rob's obviously world champion. He's been around as long as me, maybe a bit longer. He's got no hair, but he's exceptionally experienced, and All Inc are a great team. But I do want to make sure that we hit the ground running, because that's my chance. You know, he will get up to speed for sure, but I want to make sure that we get the points in early, because it is going to be very, very close.
Chilton, Banani and Huff will be battling for the main title and the Independence Trophy as well.
I'm in contention for it for sure. I mean, I finished second last year, I was third the year before, and I feel like now I've got grips with the car, I'd like to go one step better and win it this year, as long as I'm not too tired from racing also in the British touring cars.
I think everybody have the potential for win this season, and why not me?
I want to have the best year I've ever had. I'm ready for the best year I've ever had, and I think by far I've got the best opportunity I've ever had. You know, for 4 years I had a championship winning car with Chevrolet, but I had 2 of the hardest teammates in the world. I've now got what everyone believes is the best car with no teammates. It's going to be tough. You know, Thiago, Norby, Ted, Katzberg, Girolamo, you can't underestimate any of them. And then you've got Banani and Chilton in the other Citroens. We might not have the biggest grid that we've ever had, but I think we're probably going to have the closest year that we've ever had. You know, the Volvo is the big unknown. And of course, Ivan's gone there. He takes with him a wealth of experience. They won a race in Shanghai last year, and we know the car is ballistically quick in a straight line. They had some handling problems last year, but I'm sure Ivan can sort that out for them. The question I ask myself is, having driven the Citroën now, having really understood how far Citroën went with development and research, have Volvo managed to go to the same extent? And I struggle to believe that they have, but they've got 3 cars. I've got 1.
I'm the underdog. I'm the type of guy who's there when I need to be there, with a little bit of cleverness, with a little bit of luck, but you need to search for the luck, you know. And because of my my consistency and I think also my experience, yeah, I can be real difficult for the drivers, especially once I'm in front. My car is the strongest at the street circuits. Morocco, Villarreal, the 2 races where I won last year. Of course, Nordschleife, which is nearly like a street circuit. Macau is back, which can help me as well, which is 40% of all our races. I think we can build up a strategy around those races and just be clever at the others. You know, score points at the others and just try to attack the podium places at the street tracks. I don't think I can win a championship. Not with my outfit. I think we can have some good results, some big surprises. But wow.
There are some new faces in the World Touring Car Championship this season, and a couple of heirs of other motorsport dynasties.
I'm 20
Jan
years old,
is the
I started
nephew
racing
of
4 years
Ivan
ago
Muller.
in small French series. I win the French Super Touring Car Championship. Last year I was driving in the European Le Mans series on the LMP3. Quite different of the car I was driving before. The LMP3 was a prototype. The French Super Touring Car was rear-wheel drive. So quite different of all the car I was driving before. So a lot of things to learn, but the engineer and the team is here to help me, and Ivan can give me a lot of advice too. He's 4-time world champion, so I have to do the best I can. But no, it's not like a pressure. Not like a pressure. More than help for me than a pressure.
Ariel Panis is the son of Grand Prix winner Olivier, and he races a Honda for Zengo.
The first time for me in the World Championship, so it's a bit different, but it will be a new big opportunity for me to drive with famous driver. To be honest, I'm very excited and very looking forward to start. All will be new for me. It will be the first time in a touring car, the first time with a Hungary team like Zengo, the first time with a manufacturer like Honda. So all the track will be new for me, so all will be new.
Jose Maria Lopez might be gone, but Argentina is well represented with Girolami and rookie Esteban Guerreri, who drove last year in Termas de Rio Hondo.
In WTCC. And well, finally we are here, about to start the season, so I'm really overwhelmed about all this. The car, I kind of know it from last year, but I think that the difficult part for the driver is to know the circuit, to learn to know the circuit. So in this one, probably it's gonna be something that we have to catch up very quick during the weekend. It's a nice challenge. Obviously, the goal is to be on top of the podium.
In 2017, the World Touring Car Championship will retain its iconic tracks and head back to its roots. We'll start in Marrakesh.
It's special when you have people saying your name when you are in the racing car with a lot of noise.
And we'll head to Budapest.
I enjoy Hungary for obvious reasons.
This is my home circuit. I did thousands of laps there.
We'll also return to Portugal, to the streets of Villarreal.
you can really feel the passion for motorsport there. Of course, it is strong for me, but you can ask anybody in the paddock. Everybody was really nice and welcoming with any drivers. But that's a good thing about Portuguese. I mean, when we enjoy something, we really show it.
Argentina will be amazing for me because it's my country and I know very well the track. I have a little bit advantage in this case.
I love Monza just because of the history, the heritage. You know, Formula One comes here.
When I started my simulator career, that was the first track when I got a lot of experience. And I really, really love this track. It's very fast, very tough, fast corners, hard braking points.
It will be my first time in Macau. I heard all the stories.
It's nearly like casino. You can win big things and you can also lose big things. But I will never say it's a nice track.
And as a touring car driver, I think it's probably the ultimate circuit to race at.
I've got a lap record around there in a red Lada Granta. I'd like to think we can probably go a bit quicker in a Citroen.
Macau, for me, is number one because we were not there for the last 2 seasons. I missed it a lot.
The North Life is the best track on the world. Kind of like a rally driver. You never know what's going to happen in the next corner.
If you're there for the first time, you can forget a good result.
It was less dangerous behind the TV than it will be.
Where in the world you have 166 corners and only 6 of them have got gravel traps?
You need to know this track completely blind.
It's amazing. I love it.
If you would say who will win the championship, I will say Michelin. Second, Huff. Third, Thiago.
The title will be between Rob, Thiago and Norbert, and always with 3 Volkswagen drivers.
Don't underestimate Banani.
I think Huff can be strong, very strong this year.
I expect him to fight for race wins at every venue. And because of this, for me, he's the main contender.
Rob had this great opportunity also to drive one of those cars, so he's going to be really, really the key factor in all this.
So get ready for the 2017 World Touring Car Championship and what just might be the tightest close fight we have seen in years.